is now going to be pinned between two labs. Good shots, knocks out one. You also have just enough. Look at the numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You got 11 Ukraine Unity Frontline members pushing Neva lower against 1, 2, 3, 4. And first A team misses, and it might pay off. Oh no, they drive right by. Second BTR, oh, and they do go, they take the bait. Both of these teams seem to have just stretched themselves too thin. Knocks out one, he gets same meow, and he does. He could lose all those shovels, and then the radio is nearly destroyed, and there it is. Oh my goodness, absolutely clinical. Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today we've got the full match between Magic Squad Legionnaires and Ukraine Unity Frontline in the Milsim Units Eye in the Sky Invitational 2024. If you are looking for a Milsim unit, look no further and make sure to check out milsimunits.com down in the description below. Now for our first match of the second day of round 1, the tournament's only South American team, Magic Squad Legionnaires, took on Ukraine Unity Frontline, and this was arguably one of the most even matchups in the tournament. Throughout the games, both teams forced the other ones into some awkward situations, and it was just great seeing this tactical tug of war. Now, to quickly catch you guys up, if you have missed it and you're seeing this type of stuff for the first time, the Eye in the Sky Invitational is an 8-team knockout event where teams have to pick and ban maps, pick and ban units, and then compete in a best of 3 to see who moves on. Whoever does win this match will be going on to the semifinals on Sunday, June 30th. Win that, you're into the championship on July 7th to compete for $1,500. If you do want to see some competitive squad esports as it happens, this past weekend had over 15 hours of games, analysis, and interviews live streamed. So do make sure to follow on Twitch next weekend for the semis at twitch.tv/MoiDawg. I will also be posting every match here on YouTube, as well as recaps and round highlights, so you don't miss a single minute of action. After the games, I do also interview the winning side, so do make sure to stick around to the end of this video for some insight on what the teams were thinking throughout the match. But that's it for me. Enjoy the last match of round 1, day 2 of the tournament, Magic Squad Legionnaires versus Ukraine Unity Frontline. Until next time, peace. So, on board with Ukraine Unity Frontline for the first round, and we have Gordok Ras V2. We are not going to have any type of matchup or any type of layout that we had in yesterday's Goro games. We have a north to south diagonal. Should be very, very interesting, and see some different parts of the map. Ukraine Unity Frontline from the northwest spawn, going into Fruit Farm, Ambush Hill, Neva, Radio Tower, Neva Lower. That Neva Lower point is the center point. Every RAS layer now has 7 captures, and you can notice we have terrain features blocking both of these. Defensive point at Train Bridge, you can cap from underneath a little bit, but you still have to deal with the water and this cliffside with a lot of trenches. Neva Lower can be a fishbowl, and a lot of infantry combat can happen there too. On board with Ukraine, we have the Lodges, the wheeled Lodges, as well as a few of the transport ones, and then one Tiger remote weapon system, as well as 2 of the open top Tigers with that cord heavy machine gun, 2 BTR-82As, 1 BMP-2. Once again, this unit matchup was banned, most likely because of the power that the BMP-2 can bring, and then a T-90A spawning in about 13 minutes, helicopters in 4 minutes as well. Up against them is Magic Squad Legionnaires with the Canadians, a couple Lodges, a couple transports, and then a TAP V, once again that general purpose machine gun, and a grenade launcher on top. They have a couple of the LUVs with the C6 as well for their light vehicles. 2 Lav 6s. A Coyote has the same firepower as that Lav 6, but is a tinderbox. Tandem rounds, ATGMs can make them one-shot pop. Leopard as well. You have to deal with that front ammo rack in the front of the tank. That can be easily ammo rack. Need to be very smart when dealing with that. 2 helicopters as well in about a 4-minute spawn time. 1 hour on the clock. Staging takes 4 minutes, so the time will now go until 0:56. So games of squad, if it's just a regular game of squad, can last up to 2 hours. This one we have a 1-hour playtime max, so we'll see what we get. A lot of move markers headed out towards Ambush Hill. and actually over by Hilltop now. So a little bit of, with knowing it's fruit farm, you have an idea that you're going to get center of the map a little bit, and you should be able to respond accordingly here. Not going to be caught out on the flanks too much. But let's go over our teams. Squad 1 led by GG. Squad 2 with Solya and Pupsik. Squad 3 Shinigami, Tianka, Reaper, Scipio. Squad and Drektier. Squad 4 led by Askit and Quizzy. Squad 5 led by Green Mix, Say Meow, Paffy, Honor. Squad 6 Tunk Q, Race, Flamestorm, Hikari. Squad 7 Mur, Cud, Sviatoy, Sutener, AKG, Surikati, WE. Squad 8 led by Ark, Foma, Navarro. Squad 9 Otto, Kaplan. Squad 10 led by Procent, Hi, Solo, Zatvar, Pluxury, DarKRedruM, Mark 4. Squad 11 No Mercy Journey. Squad 12 Travka, QWE, S. Upovnovozni, and refed by Hawaiian Canadian. Squad 15 by Lupine Dominus, and we do have an unassigned player. I think they just reconnected that they're going to be swapping on for MSL. So we are live. We are good. Looking forward to this one. I'm really excited that we have a different lineup in terms of the layers. Having the southern map be out of play. This was so much combat yesterday. So now having to deal with this center zone, and this can get vehicles trapped. You can have a lot of good infantry combat. Should be very interesting. Industrial Park already being secured by Magic Squad Legionnaires. 2 squads, 3 squads even, securing Fruit Farm for Ukraine.
Okay.
Very quiet on comms here. Everyone's focused on their initial rollouts, trying to wait for that first set of contact. Squad 7. Oh, that is a huge transport. And Squad 5 might be able to run into him. And that is led by Mur. See if we can't head on over to Mur here. South side flanked by Squad 6. Flamestorm, he's solo in the hat. Fruit Farm secured by Ukraine Unity Front. Industrial Park still lagging a little bit behind. But looked like someone might have gotten run over for a second. A little bit of a map glitch, but looks like we're okay. Oh no, they did. Yeah, he got out a little too early. Oh no, dismounts from the vehicle. Oh no, they're actually doing some respawns. Want to get their rallies, and they want to do something else. Very interesting play here. Choosing to use those tickets for something else. And infantry combat is going to go on in the pretty much off the objectives at the moment. And a few vehicles hanging out around Neva Lower Train Bridge and Neva Radio, but nothing too much happening. Both vehicles for Russia, 2 of the BTRs electing to stay a little bit on the high ground and just kind of try to wait. What's interesting here is this is right now you got a chess match. Vehicles are deciding who's going to be the first one to move in, and you also have like Honor. Oh, hold on a second. Honor, they might get eyes on this transport. Wow, they're going to just barely miss him. You can see the terrain. He's on the other side of the hill. As Squad 5 from both sides. Oh, hold on a second. Vehicle's going to pass by him, and we're going to see if that's going to be called out. No, they're loading up in the transport. We'll see if maybe we get some Grand Theft Auto here, trying to chase down that transport. But nope, going to be missed, and Squad 5 is going to get on with what they wanted to do. Squad 12 with the Lav 6 and the Coyote as well, not spotted just yet by the BTRs. Squad 6 and 12 for Ukraine Unity Frontline, nearly halfway or just over halfway securing Ambush Farm or Ambush Hill, and Fort Farmstead now halfway to secured with Magic Squad Legionnaires. So you have a lot of players electing to actually respawn for Ukraine Unity Frontline. They're realizing that they may be out of play, and so they want to get players in a better position for certain caps. You can see they're all respawning. They want to take Hilltop. They're seeing that this is going to be a bit more of a center lane, so they're spawning at the western Hilltop fob, and they want to get bodies on the center. They do have to worry. Squad 7 is in good position to get radio, which is right in front of them here. Squad 7, the group of blue infantry in the trees just below us. But they are also going to get absolutely flanked. Good helicopter spotting. This is why it's so important to have your helicopters and good pilots. But off to our left here, left side of your screen, that is a MSL squad. That's the one that was actually just barely not spotted by Ukraine Unity Frontline just a few minutes ago. And with some good helicopter plays, they know exactly where the enemy infantry is. Vehicle still being very, very cautious. But if you notice, you're having blue, Ukraine Unity Frontline in blue, MSL, oh, going for a shot. Did they miss? Oh my goodness, they missed a stationary transport. Unbelievable, actually. Somehow, MSL, with the first shot of the game, hits dirt next to a stationary transport, and that is not only going to alert Ukraine that they've got some enemies behind them, but that's going to waste your AT, and you're going to have nothing for it. Ukraine Unity Frontline, AKG, this is perfect. AKG, oh, and Viejo Guerrero as the first one to go down. Svatoy able to take him out, and AKG, he's just barely on the cap zone, starting the cap, even though you have enemies on it, since Ukraine Unity, since MSL do not have Neva lower secured. It's all able to be freely taken as long as you have at least one person on the cap. As that's happening, this should be an easy secure here. We're about to get some big infantry contact over on the western side of Neva. The Hilltop fob by MSL has allowed, or rather the Hilltop fob of Ukraine Unity Frontline has allowed them to start getting into Neva proper. But although this is where they're fighting right now, the capture zone is a little bit more to the east. So MSL, if they're able to put up some good fights, they can actually get Ukraine stuck into this infantry fight. That doesn't necessarily matter, as Radio Tower, once that's secured, they have to actually fight their way, Ukraine, through MSL to get into that cap zone. And now it's a race to the center cap. Train bridge, about a third of the way secured. Neva Radio Tower, about 2/3 secured. Whoever sees that point first and get to it is going to have a massive advantage in this fight over Neva.
Другий контроль, будь ласка, північ від Хілтопа, щоб не флангували. Вище до Іст, у них хаб знаходиться десь половою і оточе спавн 100%. От ці зірочки, це спавн їхні 100%.
CPU? I don't know Ukrainian. I know some Cyrillic. I know some Russian. I'm trying to work with my my knowledge here. Let me know how that goes. Santiago knocks him out either way by the white van. And BTRs are now starting to open up. And you can see they're being used very well. Oh, an ATGM actually just fired. Uh-oh. Vehicles are starting to push. And BMP fires one ATGM. Not sure where that impact is. Something did hit us behind us. BMP's not going to see the... Oh, he might turn just in time. But the Lavs are flooring it down the main road. And the Lav's going to miss it. Going to get pinched by 2. BTR-82's up on the hill, and the BMP needs to flip around and realize, hey, that's not the only threat. BMP is now going to be pinned between 2 Lavs. Lav 6 smokes out behind him. BMP still getting hit by the first Lav that was ambushed. Are they going to really do it? MSL with a massive play. They had 3 vehicles shooting. That first Lav 6 manages to take out the BMP2, and 1 more goes down, but that doesn't necessarily matter because the BMP2 is out. What a play in the worst of positions. 2 BTR-82s and a BMP2 on a main road ambush. MSL able to turn a horrible situation into a not so horrible trade. 1 BMP2 going down at the cost of 2 Lav 6s. But if you really look at that, that should have never happened. That should have been 2 dead Lavs. And now Ukraine Unity Frontline are going to be out of a BMP2, which is a massive, massive advantage with those ATGMs. 15-minute timer on that as well. And going to double check that the ATGM earlier, I do not know. Nope, we still have... Oh, that was a Coyote, actually. 1 Coyote and a Lav 6, not even a Lav 6. So the Coyote, the weaker of the vehicles... going down. So that is a fantastic trade when it's all said and done. Coyote and Lav 6. I'll take that to take out a BMP as well. Now we've got the fight on Neva Lower. Neva Lower, MSL, just as we said, they were in position to fight off the infantry from Ukraine Unity Frontline from the west side of Hilltop, causing that slowdown from the infantry, and now they've allowed their train bridge cap infantry to push into Neva Lower, halfway secured to Neva Lower, and as you can see, the east side, you actually have Ukraine Unity Frontline off of the Neva radio tower cap. MSL is all over it. You have 1 Honor as AT sitting on next to it, but this could be a huge domino situation, a big ticket advantage. It would be nearly about a 70 tickets for the good for MSL if they're able to hold on Neva Lower, stick on radio tower, and right now it looks like that just might happen. MSL with some fantastic infantry and vehicle plays at the moment. 281 tickets to 273. MSL a little lower on tickets due to those vehicle losses. But it's going to be very important. Oh, and this might be coming in clutch here. Ukraine Unity coming in from the backside of Neva. This is the south side. And they're going to hop onto a Magic Squad Legionnaires Bob that literally just went down. On board with Hikari. Now he spots the Laji, should hear the radio. Full auto, tags a couple MSL. Gonna have to get back around the rock. Tossing grenade now. Good shots, knocks out 1. And he's going to be able... Oh, and he got him with the grenade. Quintos del Cielo knocked out with the grenade. Hikari still has to worry about Victor Acosta. And Acosta able to knock 1 out, but he's on the radio. This is going to be a massive, massive swing. MSL actually has a lot of momentum right now, but Lethrai goes down. Good shots by Tunk Q.
Арт, я перекидаю раліка, не буде ще одного бекап раліка на флоті.
Tunk Q tosses some grenades, and he's going to get a good flank on Victor, and there he goes. Radio getting swarmed by Ukraine. Got to watch off your north side, though. Tunk does take a couple of shots, and he gets shot from the behind as well. And Hydroxido might have been able to... Nope, he does bleed out, but Hamburguesas coming in, trying to clear this position. And the problem for MSL is now they know exactly where this is. You might have to worry about potentially moving this or not putting in as much effort as you wanted to. But although that's been happening, what Ukraine, we called this out a couple minutes ago, the problem Ukraine Unity Frontline is having is that they have put up a lot of assets on the west side, and right now MSL has just outpositioned Ukraine Unity. MSL is actually securing radio tower out from under the noses while defending a fob, while defending Neva lower, and Ukraine Unity Frontline just do not have the manpower that they need on Neva radio. This could be a huge role for MSL. Massive misplay if Ukraine Unity Frontline is going to allow MSL to have 5 capture areas within the first 15 minutes of the round. Green Mix Honor trying to push up to make sure that doesn't happen. Full cap Neva, they said. They're going to try to go... they're going to try to get over here for a... potential double neutral. I just don't see it happening. Neva radio tower. Oh, might have been called for the full cap on Neva radio instead because they did just secure it. You have a lot of infantry squads on it. Green Mix now as well. And just on the edge, he's in this edge of the capture zone just so we can see the cap status, but there's plenty of infantry nearby. Not sure if he wants to take any shots just yet. Wants to allow a few more infantry from his own squad to get into position. And, well, just as I say that, Curse of the Commentator, one goes down. MSL is going to start rotating a little bit, try to figure out where that's coming from, but they are already... oh, they did stop the cap, and that's exactly what they were waiting for. Ukraine just waiting until they got numbers on the west side, and now with that first shot, Lieutenant Dan Taylor goes down, and now the infantry fight has to happen. Travka goes down to Omar, but MSL Infantry winning the firefight right now. CQB a little bit. Wide open area of Gordak just being condensed onto this tiny radio. And that should have staved off the first attack. And we only got 1, 2 Ukraine Unity Frontline. And now you also have the armor coming in. The Lav 6 that was at spawn, they did not bring it out for the initial rollout. Lav 6 out, as well as you now have the Leopard out, just in waiting. And this is now dangerous for Ukraine Unity Frontline. You have an armor roll happening on the east side. You won the armor fight. Now Ukraine is still trying to harass on this fob. Doesn't matter. You have plenty of good infantry fights from MSL. You also have just enough. Look at the numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You got 11 Ukraine Unity Frontline members pushing Neva lower against 1, 2, 3, 4. It's simply 4 MSL. MSL doesn't matter. That's like a 3-to-1 disadvantage. And MSL able to hold them off just enough as Neva radio tower is being secured. Massive positioning play from MSL. They've been on Neva radio. They noticed Ukraine was trying to push that early, and that is a huge fumble for Ukraine. You need to get back in here, reset yourselves, and do a good push on radio. Otherwise, this is going to get even more out of control.
каміном стоїть.
The issue that they're going to have now is that you have the water feature, this river blocking it. It's naturally just much more difficult to attack, and now you can see a little too late both those squads pushing into the point. But you have the T90A way up north. Looks like they're trying to reposition. They're going to get an armor blob, it looks like. Something happening on the north side near Ambush Hill. They want to prevent a big steamroll here. But there's no attack fob. The only team spawn that they have right now, Ukraine Unity Frontline, are actually out in the west, and you can see it's not good for defense, it's not good for offense. It was good for the initial positioning, but I think Ukraine had a bit of a misplay not having this dug down and repositioned when they started to realize they need to get a little bit closer to Neva Lower. Credit to Magic Squad Legionnaires, though. They had enough infantry in good defensive positions to cause this entire front for Ukraine to slow down as they just continued to work their magic. Get it? Around the radio tower. Fantastic. This is just where strategy and also your smaller tactics come into play here. And this is, once again, this is the map Ukraine picked. Ukraine Unity Frontline saying, you know what, we want to pick Gordok as our #1. And at the moment, they have been completely outplayed by Magic Squad Legionnaires.
Они сейчас акцентируются на фобу, и они с хабов стоят просто на нас. Можете спокойно быть.
Honor. It does look like he's considering taking a shot here. Oh, and just as we say, he actually whiffs it, unfortunately. AT misses. That is going to cause the Leopard to get out. He doesn't want to worry about more infantry, so at least you'll scare him a little bit. Small Ukraine Unity Frontline fire team still trying to break into MSL, but it is going to be difficult. Now, if MSL were to get an additional, oh, it does look like, ooh, I think they were trying to dig it down, but mortars are just laying into that radio. And you can see the radio is actually on the second stage from the mortars. MSL was trying to get shovels on it, and I believe dig it down, actually. They don't want to leave 20 tickets for the taking. You can see Ukraine Unity Frontline. This is a very sneaky Logi. I don't think they've spotted him either. So very, very sneaky Logi. Ukraine trying to get in position on the south side here, and if they can get a fob up, a team spawn, you can see the fob creation mark now going up. Squad 7 with the move mark. You also have the hat protecting Squad 5 spawning in. This is the harassment squad that's been trying to break into Neva Radio. If they're able to get a good attack fob here, as now mortars start to land from that hilltop fob way out west, it's not over yet. They might not be in a position they want to be in. But there's plenty of game left for Ukraine to turn this around. Infantry spilling out of the hab, or spilling out the Logi, trying to set up that radio and hab. Helicopter from MSL flying around. You can see the armor just underneath them, starting to move out westward. Hab now about to go up. Radio is down. Shovel's going to be out as mortars landing on radio.
Мені потрібен 2 плюса на хаб. Мені потрібні 2 беха на моєму бой срочно. Бо скапаю зараз хабу звідти.
Так, в моей альфа заходить.
253 tickets to 314 as Ukraine is taking a moment to collect themselves and focus on this attack fob. The radio, I don't believe was actually lost. I do believe Enzo, Victor, and crew were able to dig that down, as the mortars had eventually swapped over to radio tower, that is. So plenty of MSL still on the point. But now it's the decision: do you stay and fight this? Do you take a few infantry out with you, or you just pick up and completely move? MSL needs to understand that they're probably not going to be able to instantly stretch. This isn't like a public game of squad, where even if you see a potential opportunity, and hold on a second, speaking of potential opportunity, Coyote is now back up and moving, and that might just spot the radio. Coyote needs to be careful, though. Coyote's one-shot tandems, you hit it just right. It is a tinderbox. Nice little Canadian pinata, if a hat round. And Honor, that's our hat player. He's getting up for the shot. And he just has the heat round. Nails the side of the Coyote. That tandem round missed the Leopard earlier, so unfortunately just one heat into the side. Coyote now just laying into that attack from Ukraine Unity Frontline, and this is absolutely clutch. Infantry was trying to push for Ukraine onto this this ramp up into radio, coming in, driving by with that high explosive incendiary. And now the BTRs. Well, doesn't find the BTR just yet, but does find that transport, and that's another 5 tickets for the good. 244 tickets for Ukraine, 309 for Magic. And something just exploded out west behind us, not sure what. MSL looks like they're actually getting mopped up by Ukraine on the southeast side of Neva Lower. And MSL, to get back to our point, this isn't like a normal pub match where you could necessarily get down and leapfrog to an additional point so quickly. You're opening yourself up for a little too much counterplay. So MSL, they kind of want to get Reece situated on the fob, make sure that they have radio tower well and truly secured, because they know UUF is not going to just let them have it easy. Honor coming back, and he should have his tandem round now. This is the Lav 6, not the Coyote, so a much stronger vehicle, but a tandem round is still not going to feel good. Honor, center your screen, lining up, and hopefully it lands true for Ukraine. You need to push their vehicles back, and it does hit the backside. Smoking. West immediately has to bail. And they choose to go in a very good direction away from that first contact. Unfortunately, with the smoke that just landed, and Coyote's choosing to come back in. Wow, very brave, but they know they just got hit by tandem, so that player might not have a tandem. Much more important, and oh, they take out the transport too. I believe that was a transport and not the Logi. It was. Either way, it carries ammo for those anti-tanks. Coyote sticking with it, and very aggressive vehicle plays. Now, as we start to consolidate both teams, let's take a look at the map. As the Leopard dodges another AT. Honor, I think he's 50% right now on his landed shots, unfortunately for Ukraine. But the Leopard's going to smoke. However, he's rolling through an infantry alleyway right now, and that's not good, because he's going to be easily spotted, kept track on, while you have the T90A and the 2 BTRs on the north side. Looks like this BTR is going to stay. He's just kind of scouting, preventing any easy flanks. But you have the BMP2 now is back online. Looks like they're trying to get it in a position, maybe use those ATGMs along the long sight lines around here. MSL, once again, just a handful of infantry on the point in some really good areas, trying to win those infantry fights just by forcing Ukraine to push in ways that maybe they don't want to. Leopard now pushing down south side of Neva Radio, and the Ukrainian anti-tank players, you're seeing move marks here. You got 2 AT on the southwest side, 2 AT on the the northeast side, as well as Hat Honor coming back in, and this could be very bad for Ukraine's Leopard driver. T90A as well as just up on the road. Oh, and takes a shot. Looks like he shrugs it off pretty well, though. Rama Lugo and Donatello, they're going down Infantry Alley. Interesting choice to use both smokes, but it might have actually saved him here. Not able to get a good shot that penetrates the armor from that second RPG round. Double defensive smoke, and then chooses to use drive smoke to keep infantry just at bay here. And that might have been just enough to survive the gauntlet. And that is good. If they were tracked here, you can see the T-98 and BTR-82 for Ukraine just north. They're trying to get in for a kill here. And it looks like tanks are now trying to move around east and around. But there's plenty of infantry now on both sides. This is now pretty much anyone's point. It is not being secured by Ukraine just yet, but they seem to be playing for the big vehicles at the moment. And Lotto and Kaplan choosing to pick on the north side, and it does look like they're actually going to be coming in from the north side to try to get a shot on this Leopard. And helicopter has spotted him, and that first shot from the T-90 is true. Tracks the Leopard, and it looks like it's double tracked actually. And they're aiming for that ammo rack in the front side, and I don't think the Leopard even... Oh, and they ammo racked him! First shot into the ammo rack, and there it goes! Huge armor play from Otto and Kaplan, and the Leopard goes down, tracked, double tracked with the first shot, ammo racked with the second, and that is as clinical as you can get. T-90A smokes and says, thank you very much. That is exactly the type of momentum swing that Ukraine needed to help get them on the point, and they are. Neva Radio now being secured with infantry on the objective. MSL, they finally have a hab just east, but unfortunately they have to not only go through the infantry and the vehicles, they have to go through an additional Ukraine Unity Frontline hab. This is an extremely close game, and if you're able to get tickets and bodies on this, secure this, you're going to be back at an even ticket advantage. MSL might have stretched themselves a little too thin early on without consolidating on Neva Radio.
Ми щас будемо на Ніволове перекидатися. Або буде щось таке. Так, думаю, скинуть. 10-й, підніме параліку, щас свою піхоту, хай вона перейде по моїм бомбам. Удячно.
Ooh, good shot with the tandem. Kanglaro. And they actually smoke out Kanglaro. He does get shot with the high explosive incendiary at the end of it, though. No Mercy and Journey gonna just limp away. Unfortunately, missing the engine. Engines on those BTRs that circle razor wire in the back if you want a nice, easy way to shoot it. So impact to the front of the BTR is definitely going to hurt, but still leave them mobile. But plenty of vehicle presence now. We're going to turn this off just so you can see the actual infantry for a second and vehicles. So MSL, it looks like they are overrunning the Ukrainian hab. And hold on a second, Mercy gets shot by AT, and Journey, I don't think they realize, and they don't. No! Huge plays by MSL, and that was Quentos de Cielo. From the middle of the field, limp away, and that is clinical. That's a law. That is a very, when it's all said and done, very weak AT round, but able to just fire it perfectly. And now Solo and Procent Pluxury LUV gonna run over Quentos de Cielo, say, hey, you're gonna bully our BTRs like that? Well, here we go. Solo now opening up with the heavy machine gun, and he's not gonna have the depression for it just yet. Quentos de Cielo still in it, and he tries to launch a shot and misses. Oh, too funny. But I mean, you'll take that every day. So MSL, though, they've been able to get on top of this Ukraine Unity radio. and the hab is down. For some reason, the radio hasn't been taken out just yet. I don't know what they're doing just here. Do they not see the radio, or are they choosing to keep it up? I can't imagine they choose to keep it up right now. And the Tiger's coming in, and that's going to be bad news for the Tap V, because he's being one man. They need to swap to the gunner right now. It is open top solo laying into the Tap V. Rinzo needs to get in the gun because he needs to shoot off the open top. No, Solo gets shot out because Pluxury LUV runs into a tree right ahead of him. Squad player's worst enemy is squad trees, and that happens once again for Tiger on the south side. Now Renzo is solo against a solo Pluxury LUV. Pluxury doesn't want to get shot out himself, so he'll bail out of here. Now radio is marked. They were just waiting to make sure they're all secure for it. So Renzo, Maro, and it's like on terrace, circling on top of this radio as the Tiger comes back in. He might just try to make a pickup to get someone else back into this MG. And you need to be careful here. If you're MSL, you got a lot of bodies staring at the radio and not at the people behind you. Murr coming in is going to wipe the radio shoveling. No more shovels. Pluxury LUV does get shot off. But I don't think they're going to have enough follow-up. Procent. Oh man, so Neva radio was secured, but now they have to worry about once again more flip-flopping. MSL coming in. We can see that radio objective capture has evened up the tickets. 233 tickets, 237. One of the most even matches we've seen so far.
Арк, повтори. Это не Арк. Я вам говорю, что вы можете переставить.
MSL sitting into the hab. They're going to finish digging that down. Shovels out on that radio. And this is a good show of force. They're electing to push on this side. But if you notice, you had 3 or 4 infantry for Ukraine. They're about to flip-flop. Are we going to see a reverse Uno? While this has been happening, a lot of action on the east side. We can't get distracted. They can't get distracted. Ukraine isn't distracted. Tunk is actually flipping the script halfway to neutral on Neva Lower, and MSL is out of position. Both of these teams seem to have just stretched themselves too thin and have not made enough of a concerted effort to stabilize before leapfrogging. And MSL is now getting the UUF treatment. UUF about to capture Neva Lower, and you can see there's a squad 9. This is MSL. They've set up a fob. Unfortunately, their Logi is still next to the radio. That should be an easy spot if that helicopter is able to see him. Squad 1 and GG. But if they're able to get here, you have a rally from MSL on west side of Neva. MSL needs to try to hold this, and they have the momentum now on the east side. They knocked out the Ukrainian fob here. Radio is now dead and has bled out, and this is now the only spawn next to Neva radio. You have a few rallies from Ukraine, but no team spawn. Ukraine now securing Neva Lower, 211 tickets to 228.
Максимально быстро делаем, сейчас. Давай.
У нас есть ДРГ під мейном?
Лавка в Ніволові.
Все, вот эпоху мы едем.
Лавка в Ніволові.
ДРГ під мейном немає. ДРГ під мейном немає, але ліпше біжайте. Нас є під амбушем.
Второй, надо твой хелп.
And here comes the vehicles. Trying to see if they have any AT to deal with it. And wow, they do not. Ukraine pushing into a point, and they don't have a single bit of anti-tank to deal with this Lav 6. Lav 6 hasn't gotten a single one down just yet. But he's just trying to pop shots into buildings, into windows, try to prevent the cap, because MSL you have coming in from the western side, and the capture area, you see this dome. Hikari does go down. Victor Acosta, Sox, Donatello, and Quinto coming in, and they should be able to stop the cap, and they do! Huge stop, 80% to cap. Victor Acosta coming around the backside, and infantry, just when you need to show up, they do. Travka now by himself. Oh, and the grenade. Lupine might have gotten a grenade right as he went down. Takes out 2 MSL, and that will slow the cap. But Squad 6 rally. You can see up by that Tiger. They are pushing into the objective area.
Прочекай дорогу, вот там мы сейчас ее выгоним на эту дорогу.
Здесь пехоты.
204 tickets for Ukraine, 227 for MSL. But it is stalled now. Neva lower. They with vehicles once again. Finally one anti-tank. Hikari spawning in. BMP though. Oh, they might have played their cards a little too early. BMP opening up against the infantry on the north side. And the BMP needs to be very careful because the LAV-6 is just chilling right in the middle of the objective. Does mop up a lot of infantry, very good infantry coverage. I believe Flu, though, behind him is AT, and he is. If Flu can get a shot on this BMP and track him, that could protect the LAV-6 on the objective. I think this is a Tiger coming in, or BRDM. BTR-82, actually, 82A. And Asket and Kwezi, are they going to do what we think they're going to do? Trying to push into Neva lower, infantry all over it, and a LAV-6 sitting in the middle of the point. This could be a very risky play for Ukraine. 202 tickets, 223, all square, but losing a vehicle could cost it. Weiss and Uyos in the middle. BTR-82 doesn't see him. Lav takes the first shot and misses, and that unfortunately is going to show him exactly where they are. Kwezi, you're just got in a standoff. Who's going to peek the angle first? And I don't think either team has AT on the point. Now you just have a standoff. And both are taking shots in very awkward angles. And the Lab might have been able to do it, and they go around for the engine kill. And AT, no, though, anti-tank with a massive save, turret pop. And hold on a second, though Kwezi and Asket need to dismount quick because their vehicle's on fire. They risked it, and it looks like it's going to pay off. Flamestorm is showing up just when he needed to. Kwezi getting that repair kit up. And the BTR-82 is saved. Wow. Brave plays. 196 tickets to 209. And we have just about 15 minutes or so left of this match. And it looks like it's going to be down to the wire. Take a look on the east side again. MSL, I believe they are digging down that radio. They don't want to worry about it anymore. It's putting them way too out of position. MSL has been able to stall the cap on Neva lower, but it's been very costly. 193 tickets to 197. And once again, once this game clock at the top of the map here, right now it says 110, 19, 18, 17. Up in the top right here, when that says 00:56, the game is over. So about 14 minutes left, and we are in a 3-ticket difference. This could be the closest match that we've had, barring some type of domino effect. And if Neva lower stays neutral, or if Magic Squad Legionnaires are able to recap it, then Ukraine Unity will not be able to get the ticket advantage from it. About 50 tickets if they are to secure it.
Тільки ще не знаю, чи це актуал, ти ставив цю мітку, Фоба.
Oh, and no, here it's ticking over, and this is going to potentially be the game-winning play by Ukraine. Just sticking with it, getting another body on the point, and I think MSL, if they watch this back, they're going to realize they should have had more bodies here. They have so many bodies trying to deal with 1 or 2 harassment on Train Bridge, and that is going to... Oh, that is absolutely painful for MSL. 249 tickets to 194. What was originally a 3-ticket game is now a 50-ticket game. And they have... Oh, I can't do math. They now have 14, 15 minutes for the game to be over. If they can cap this back, MSL is in position, but look at this. This is what the problem has been. MSL set up this fob earlier, and they had just a couple of harassment. You can see that transport with the rally Drek tier near it as well. But they've been able to push this radio and cause so much response by MSL that MSL hasn't been able to push out to Neva, and now they have more infantry spawning in on the rally. They also have... Oh, no. This could be catastrophic. You need to have all your shovels out and get this radio down quick because you have command artillery. Because if that arty strikes true, you get a good shot. You could actually lose all of those shovels. And this is going to be very close, actually. You could lose all those shovels, and then the radio is nearly destroyed, and there it is! Oh my goodness! Absolutely clinical! And the radio's on bleed, all from that. Husky needs to try to save this now. I don't believe he has a shovel. He's a SL. He needs to swap to a crewman kit to try to save this. And I believe he finally does. And he's not able to do it! Oh no! Absolute disaster class for Magic Squad Legionnaires. Command artillery knocks out a few of the Ukrainians on that northwest corner. Direct here in Shinigami getting a little bit of friendly fire, but it doesn't matter. Unbelievable. You couldn't have timed it worse if you're MSL. You're going to lose all those tickets. You might lose the Logi, and you're going to lose the radio. Oh my word. Such a close game. Within a few minutes has now changed, and it's a massive ticket swing. And it bleeds out, and there you go. 232 tickets to 163. I think this will still be decided on tickets, or on time, but now the tickets, it's almost no question. Magic Squad Legionnaires, just looking at their current, well, I would say front line. They don't really have much of a front line. They don't have a team spawn. There's not too many rallies. MSL, they need to say, hey, we need to make one big play, make a couple good vehicle kills, and then just try to go all in on Neva lower, because at this point it's a ticket battle. They know they're probably not going to lose 154 tickets in 9 minutes, but they might be able to knock out a few tickets and then capture a point in that time. But unbelievably clutch in the end of it by Ukraine.
Фобу вони викопали на трейні.
Думаєш, цього піде АТО?
Лавка актуал, вони загрузились в лавку. Їде лавка на південь.
UUF have consolidated a bit. This is a Ukrainian fob on the north side of Neva Lower. MSL still trying to figure out what they need to do to set up. And you have now the BMP. You have a little bit of their UUF trying to get some map control here, holding the flanks. They want to make sure that another sneaky fob doesn't come around in. And it is quiet. Both teams, They got 8 minutes. You don't want to lose a big asset right now. You do not want to lose a big asset right now.
Точки.
Окей, я сейчас прилечу.
T90 sitting on the repair station. Coyote with a light vehicle with a Lav 6 on the south side of Train Bridge.
Надо.
Вони будуть зараз складати хабу або тут побувати, або під'їжджати сюди.
А что там по 4-му метка хаба стоит? Это актуал или нет?
Ні. Приблизно. Я там нічого не знайшов, я не знаю.
6-й, у тебя пехота?
Садись на меня, прям на меня садись.
Oh, and here we go. A little bit of infantry taking some high explosive from the Lav 6. Squad 3 got eyes on it.
12-й, я его убил или нет?
And this is it for MSL.
Сейчас мы
This is their last roll of the dice, choosing to use a command artillery strike on Neva Lower. And that's actually not a bad play. You have infantry on the south side, infantry on the east side. I'm not sure if this infantry is going to survive on the west side, but they need to try to play for it.
Все, минус, он
Видели, да? Хорошо.
Хвилини докиньте.
Don't give up.
Така хай, що може,
Here, don't give up. They think they're really close on tickets.
може бути година хуйня. Я правила не
With
читав.
the amount of flip-flopping both these teams did, it's not unlikely that you're close on tickets. However, that last radio loss by MSL, followed by preceded by the Neva Lower cap, that really just did it.
Ми за хвилин 5 ще втратили один тікет лише.
And
Мета пішла.
I don't even think this artillery is going to do anything at the end here. I think MSL are realizing that they might have fumbled this a little bit. They got a little too aggressive with this fob. It was a little too out of play. And they took out too much infantry to defend that Neva Lower position. And yeah, you're going to get Upov Novazny. I feel like if this was in Cyrillic, I could read it easier. Upov Novazny. Upov Novazny gets knocked out by some arty, but that's not really going to do much, especially because Villagrero down in the building there. No infantry to follow up because MSL is laying down in the dirt. Hikari mopping him up behind him. Crove trying to help support him. But if we are comparing this to yesterday's matches, the artillery followed up by the infantry and vehicles. That's not happening as it did with Squad All-Stars Germany here. Just not nearly as decisive. And speaking about decisive, Ukraine Unity Frontline now coming in on both the western side and eastern side of Train Bridge with 5 minutes of the match to go. This looks to be the first round. Ukraine Unity Frontline not making it easy for themselves, definitely stumbling a little bit in the beginning. MSL had the opportunity to completely change the game in that middle round with an early cap on Neva Radio, but looks like they stretched themselves a little too thin. And with some clinical plays from the T90, just the 2-shot kill on the Leopard, absolutely efficient. The double track into the ammo rack, and then the vehicles choosing some risky plays like the BTR-82 dive onto the point supported by Hat. This looks like they were able to work a little bit better together as Train Bridge is now being secured. That will be GG's in 4 minutes. Squad 5 and 9 trying to make something happen. It is a 90 ticket difference, so if you want to put that in terms of the vehicles out in the field, Ukraine would have to lose this BTR. This BTR, that's 20 tickets. Also the T70, the T90. That would be 35 tickets. They'd have to lose both of their radios, 20 tickets apiece, 75 tickets, and they'd have to lose a bunch of infantry. So you see it's very unlikely for that ticket swing to happen within the next few minutes as AT comes in and tries to spook Devik and Hembergases off a little bit.
Веду і Альфа 3-го. Там дві лавки.
AT from Classic coming around the back, but he doesn't have to worry about... Ooh, hold on a second. They do have to worry about that. The T90. You see him on the bridge. And the Lav, they're saying, you know what? This is my home now. I don't like it, but let's keep sending it into the tank. T90, big show of force on the bridge here as BTR-82, T90, I think they actually might be stuck. They shoved that T90 right into the bridge. One crewman dismount to try to back him out of there. 122 tickets, 224. As 2.5 minutes left remaining. Smoke out to protect that T90A. Little chunky boy getting himself wedged up on the bridge.
12-й каски актуальны на 10-й пехотке пехи. Каски актуальны.
Good infantry fights for Ukraine. This is a very difficult place to fight in as you're attacking it. You have to push across this river. There's plenty of areas for the trenched-in infantry, also called entrenched infantry, to fight back. But I think at this moment, MSL just a little bit. I don't want to use the word tilted, since I don't think they're necessarily tilted, but I think they're gonna look back at that Neva radio play and really regret not consolidating sooner, getting caught up into some fights that really didn't matter, and eventually just getting picked apart by a couple good flanks by Ukraine Unity Front. Last minute of the match. And that will be it. 219 tickets, 117. The first game rather, to be decided by a time. Ukraine Unity Frontline will be taking game 1 on the map that they picked, Gorodok. And now Magic Squad Legionnaires have an opportunity to turn around on Black Coast and see exactly what they want to do. Not sure what's going on in the background here. Tank trying to just fire into infantry and hitting trees and fences and what have you. Last 30 seconds of the match here.
А чуєте танки в техніка? Я кинув ралік, вони оце справа наліво рухаються. Чуєте, шановне панство?
Last 20 seconds. And MSL at least were able to hold off the train bridge cap, but that will not be enough. Last 10 seconds tick down, and that will be officially round 1. Going to Ukraine Unity Frontline. Massive plays at the end of it. End of game is official. 218 tickets to 112. Ukraine, you can hear a little exasperated sounds. I think they're exhausted. They didn't execute as much as they wanted to, but it didn't matter. Coming up with the W, 155 kills to 106, 264 in caps to 182, 63 revives to 100 revives. All in all, some good vehicle and cap plays being the difference. G's. Magic Squad Legionnaires up against Ukraine Unity Frontline. This is live. Live is called. And let's get it on. The potential decider here, if Ukraine Unity Frontline can follow up with their map pick, winning the first round on time and tickets with about a 100-ticket victory when it was all said and done after an hour on Gorodok. Now have to show up to Black Coast RAS V1. And we have the Canadian Armed Forces Lord Strathcona's Horse Regiment up against the 3rd Motor Rifle Brigade. So this 3rd Motor Rifle Brigade, we've seen a lot of that so far in this tournament. Should be very familiar if you watched yesterday's cast. But the Lord Strathcona's Horse Regiment, that is the Canadian Armored Division. We have 3 M113A3 Lodges. These are tracked Lodges. Very strong because you don't get shot off by small arms, but a lot slower. And as a Canadian vehicle, it is also not amphibious. 2 of the transports, one on a additional one on a delay. Then the M113A3 T-Labs, M113 APC with a remote weapon system, up on top. 2 of the lightly armored Coyote recon vehicles and 2 Leopards right from the get-go. No 10-minute, no 15-minute, no 20-minute delay. 2 Leopards right out the gate. But we saw in the first round, hey, if you got good vehicle players, doesn't matter how many Leopards you got. If you only need 2 shots to kill them, that's going to be something to worry about as MSL moves forward here. The Ukrainian Unity Frontline Motor Brigade, once again, very familiar with this. If you watched yesterday, a couple of those wheeled Logis, 2 of the wheeled transports, 1 on an additional 1 on that delay, 2 of the BRDM 2 scout cars, 3 BTR-82As, very good for wolf packing, ambushing, spreading out, then grouping back together. We've seen it really be effective this weekend. And then a BTR-80. Think of this as a long boy BRDM. It can pack a punch, but not nearly as powerful as the 82A. And then that T-90A on a delay, and then 1 helicopter. So this is a very big map. Yeah, you have to be a little bit cautious if you're MSL, because in about 5 minutes, the helicopter advantage is going to go Ukraine's way, and that's going to give them a lot more vision. The points, MSL up on the northeast side main, over to Derevnia, then Pig Farm, Fortified Farm, Old Train Yard, Torpedo Factory, Paseka, and Pipeline. Yesterday, we did see a Black Coast. That was all on the west side too. Objectives are a little different this side. We got Torpedo Factory instead of the yard. We have Paseka, we have Old Train Yard. So a little bit different here, but it will be a western layout. Let's get the teams out for MSL this time. Squad 1 led by Mauro 43, then Rotor, Renzo, Elkis, Aka. Squad 2 led by Nikki, Flu, Santiago, Pardu, Aegis, Crove. Squad 3 led by V Commando, Emiliatino, Sunday Pasta. Squad 4 led by Hamburguesa Al Vapor, Devik. Squad 5 led by Husky. It's Tuwo, Pela, Franchugol, Hydroxido de Sodio, sodium hydroxide, Necrol. Squad 6, Victor Acosta, Sox, Lathrai, Cuentos de Cielo. Squad 7 led by Manu Frank, Classic, Antares, Jacques. Squad 8 led by Rama Lugo and Donatello. Squad 9, Totem Wolf, Viejo Vaguero, Mr. Meow, Omar Mosqueda, Raul, Fox Kives. Squad 10 led by Byron, Guatan Ignacio, Punisher, myself casting. Squad 12, Diego Maradona by Enzo. Squad 13, Waze, Ulus, King Laro, and Lieutenant Dan Taylor. A couple more MSL coming in right as it starts here. But hey, game time started. You guys got to get in. Rollouts have started, and ooh, they're not putting the tanks out just yet. That's very interesting. So they want the tank advantage, but they won't want, we call it going around and playing War Thunder, right? You're playing World of Tanks. You move your tanks out, and you don't really have an idea of where the enemy is. And it's really just a lot of luck. Who sees who first? You might lose a big asset. So Pipeline already being secured by the Russian ground forces with Ukraine Unity Frontline, Pipeline, and then Paseka. Squad 8 looks like they're going to go all the way here. That is a very, very aggressive play in a transport. Squad 12, they're pushing up already to Fort Farm, and then the BTR-80. Wow, BTR-80 being selected to use. So they got all the vehicles out. BRDM, the 3 BTR-82s and a BTR-80 on the western side. Very interesting here, as we're going to have a showdown. This is about what happened yesterday. Nope, going to be a little bit different, as you got to watch your left side. They're going to just barely miss each other. The scout car is going to, it's like 2 ships passing in the night. Scout car, Travka and crew going to be right in the village, and they're not going to realize that oh, hold on. No, they are going to realize BTR is already firing into west, and they need to back out. Good angle on that. We can see exactly how they got spotted. Look at that sightline. BTR-82s on the way. And you have hat kits as well, but you got to be careful. BTR-80 behind them. Looks like they're not going to try to pinch them just yet, but the Coyote very thin-skinned. But can they bait this BTR into an ambush with the hat kit. Looks like the BTR is charging forward. This is very aggressive from Ukraine Unity Frontline. Will it pay off? And first AT misses, and it might pay off. Oh no, they drive right by second BTR. Oh, and they do go, they take the bait. Oh no. MSL chooses to push out, and because of that, they actually lose the cover behind that bridge. The second BTR staying back, No Mercy and Journey mopping that up, and unfortunately, I believe is King Laro missing with that AT shot to open him up. Nearly perfect, but without an AT, well, that's what happens. Oh, there we go. There goes the AT, King Laro. So a trade, BTR 82 for a Coyote, and I don't think, oh, they don't see the tank in time. This will be good. Oh, the BTR 82 is going to start falling back as No Mercy knows he doesn't have anyone to hang out with. Leopard is going to take the place of the Coyote, and I don't think they're going to have eyes. They do! What a shot, No Mercy and Journey, and I think their engine going to smoke out and try limping away. And we have a couple big tank plays potentially happening here if the hat kits Flamestorm and Hikari, and they do! Tracked at the gas station. Flamestorm, not a tandem, but the heat round tracked, and Hikari, another heat round. MGs try to knock him out, but Hikari and Flamestorm are able to get out of the way, and this is also going to be a problem because you have another Ukraine Unity Frontline heavy anti-tank team pushing in from the western side, and I believe they're tracked as well. Double tracked, both tanks tracked, and now the infantry can pick them apart. Honor trying to drop some ammo for Say Meow. Say Meow lining up his shot. And is able to do it. Oh, it must have been 29 meters away. The tandem round. Just min arms. Unbelievable. The sinner. So one tandem able to sort itself, or I guess the sphere gods keeping that from hitting the Leopard, and you still have Hikari out on the rocks, but these tanks have completely been taken out, and this might give Ukraine Unity Frontline just enough time to get their own armor situated, but more importantly, Torpedo Factory is the next point for Squad 9 and 2. They're going to try to cap that. Derevnia secured, and this is where you start getting into a little bit of a tough situation. Hikari with another tandem round. Hikari just picking apart, and you do not want to lose your Leopard right now. This Leopard, you should have knocked out a couple BTRs or other vehicles, and instead Hikari with some good plays. He's running back to the transport here. Flamestorm is the hat kit. Hikari has the RPG. The RPG 7v2 with just the heat rounds. So Coyote coming in to try to help. They need to get that Leopard up, and then you also need to go to a repair station or RTB this. I don't know if they want to risk the RTB, but Pig Farm halfway secured. And BTR now trying to open up against King Laro, Lieutenant Dan Taylor. I believe that's some AT on this side. Yep, one hat kit. King Laro does go down. I think he did get at least one AT round into the BTR, but one tank.
Mauro, traquea eso, por favor.
Trying to figure out where exactly. Wonderful marks here. One Leopard on the main road here. I think the second one, you guys might see it. Yeah, one tank on the main road here. The second one just up as they try to repair it. But the Leopard, if you're not able to get a couple vehicle picks with these Leopards, This is not going to end well for the potential steamroll with the helicopter spots.
Sí, acaban de matar al médico acá de la 2, me parece.
Flamestorm is now back up. Hikari as well, so this is AT, and they are waiting. Oh my goodness! Unlucky Hikari banks his RPG off the angle, and no, it doesn't matter! Flamestorm with a tandem round from the wood line, and that is going to completely flip the script. Magic Squad Legionnaires unable to get their tanks in the game. Pretty much spoiled the party. Flamestorm all by himself. You got to give Hikari his light anti-tank counterpart some credit, but honestly, just very passive from the Coyote here. You know there's a vehicle. You know there's AT firing multiple shots. You need to get that Coyote to help protect your larger asset. And the tank right now, you'd much rather lose a Coyote than another tank. But just a second ago, I was saying I'm not sure if they want to risk falling back here. They choose to, and well, now they're down a Leopard. That's a huge ticket advantage. 200 and just vehicle presence advantage. 254 tickets for Magic Squad Legionnaires, down one tank. And now the tank timers, by the time the Leopard RTBs gets healed up, gets its ammo back, by the time they get back out, the T90 is going to be out, and you're going to be pretty much all square minus the helicopter. Not where Magic Squad Legionnaires wanted to be. Pig Farm was secured, but Torpedo Factory is just about to pop for Ukraine Unity Frontline, and well, Squad 7 for MSL. Now in position to start getting Fort Farm. The thing that can save MSL right now is they actually have a better location on Old Train Yard. If they get Fort Farm, they're set up, and if they can figure out the type of more partisan activity, the infantry that's finding themselves in the middle of these smaller MSL squads, if they can create more of a front here, they're good. If they stay porous and allow AT and infantry to keep harassing them like they did last round, though, Ukraine Unity Frontline with that now vehicle advantage, 100% giving them a vehicle advantage. That could be a very, very difficult round for MSL to deal with.
Ok, ahora va ahí Wolf también a copiar, tranquilo. Que va limpiando el bosque de diamante de 12. Terminaste Nicky ahí vos, movete para donde está Totem Wolf y pushá por movimiento 12 también.
Muerto Squad Leader, muerta infantería acá,
Ok, bien, seguime pushando en él. Nicky, apoyate con él después cuando pueda, ponete con él.
Say Meow, one of the only infantry for Ukraine up on the north side now. And he is AT. I'm not quite sure if he still has any anti-tank rounds. And hold on a second, because the BTR, there's actually ambush. Oh my goodness, another disaster class for MSL. BTR goes right through MSL infantry, takes out the Lav 6 with not much of a fight, able to go away. I do think Antaros was able to engine the helicopter here, but oh my, and another AT round, No Mercy and Journey doesn't get shot now twice by AT. GG trying to repair the not rotor, but the engine. And he is able to slowly take off, and he might save this helicopter, and this is now starting to spiral into an unsavable position for MSL. You're now down your tank, you're down a Lav, the helicopter was not killed, the BTR wasn't killed. Let's take a look at the vehicles that each team has right now. You have a BRDM up on the northeast side that is going to be harassing a FOB. You have a BRDM on this western side, which we just heard. He actually just destroyed a Logi here, Reece and Tunk Q. So two BRDMs up in the back lines already. You have a BTR 82A near Train Yard, another one headed towards Main. You have the T90A up and moving. The helicopter is going to repair, and he's going to be back out in just a minute. What does MSL have as the armored brigade? What do you have? You have an APC. You have another APC, which is a Logi. It's not even armed. And you have a tank that got absolutely crippled and is finally just leaving Main with no spots for him. And hold on a second, Flamestorm,
Logi.
9, te voy a agarrar un vehículo vos también.
Copy.
Flamestorm, as we teleport over here, Flamestorm has been the MVP of the round. Hikari and Flamestorm, this anti-tank team. And BRDM is going to potentially knock out this Logi, Nicky. And they hear the tank, and it might be round 2, unfortunately.
Enzo, en rombos de 3 hay un par de tipos que le están tirando la 1. No sé si querés que flanquee eso o me mando a bandera.
Yo creo
Flamestorm,
que banderas son 1, 2,
seeing that tank.
Terminar de limpiar eso.
Oh! Shot, and actually Flamestorm, he takes a lot of damage. He doesn't want to worry about the repair because he needs to get the shot off, and he does. Leopard looks to be okay, though. Really good. Oh, and that is... Well, Flamestorm and Hikari won the first matchup. Looks like the Leopard with Devich and Hembergesa win the second one. RPG 26, or RPG 28 rather, deflecting off that front turret and losing the transport, losing both infantry. Trevka and QWE, however, you have a medic, and well, they're not able to pick up the bodies of the anti-tank crew, but they are trying to spot. So the middle point, Old Train Yard, still not secured. Both teams trying to focus on the infantry fight. Fort Farm for MSL is their current front line, and the T90A, this is about the same area we saw it last match, a bit further north. The Black Coast match with, I believe, the Squad All-Stars Germany. The Squad All-Stars Germany able to get that T90A secretly here. We have a good sight line for all on north side. So with that helicopter being able to help direct the T90 in, this Leopard needs to be very, very careful. Well, Hat Kit, they've respawned. They've got their rally. Flamestorm and Hikari are back at it. And that's because Travka is the squad lead, able to reset. They're able to rearm as well. And then Squad 1, oh, they're going to take that bridge and go south. So Leopard should be okay for a second, but the T90A, you see him moving, actually. And he's going to hear that Leopard shoot, and he's going to try to see if he has an angle just yet. I think with the terrain, the hill in front of him is going to prevent it just barely. Green mix in front of him, able to get accurate spots out for the T90 crew. T90 holding his position. There's a few infantry that the MSL infantry need to deal with, but it looks like the problem on Fort Farm is just about solved. Unfortunately for MSL, Ukraine Unity Frontline have just about secured train yards south, so they are going to be at not just the ticket advantage, but also now the objective advantage. Mortar's coming down on the MSL back line here, trying to dial in on that hab, but that looks like it's going to be completely off. Maybe just trying to get on to some infantry support, but nothing really doing with those mortars. Leopard is going to very smartly choose to back out of here. And let's take a look at our map once again to see what's been going on. Hat Kid, and this is not going to be good for Nicky. And we're going to, once again, Nicky and Enzo, this Hat Kit, this anti-tank team has just been relentless, and I think they're going to get another kill just here. Engine, what a shot to the engine. This is the armored Logi. Hikari knocks out, and there you go, a track Flamestorm. They got no defenses if they want to fight this off. Nicky and Enzo actually have to dismount, and that's not gonna happen. They're gonna save the AT and very smartly let the BRDM deal with it. Fantastic work. That's good vehicle and infantry teamwork. Flamestorm and Hikari teamed up with Travka and QWE. Massive.
Marca 5, está el tanque cubriéndose con la estructura esa, con esa casa.
233 tickets to 285, but also you're removing a Logi run, so no build, no ammo. They got to deal with what they got down here, and with a tank and no helicopter, you want to give your opportunities to repair and rearm without getting ambushed by Flamestorm and crew again. Ukraine Unity Frontline starting to push from the south side of train yard. They got a good defensive fob right here, and now they're going to have infantry and vehicles start to push on the south and southwestern side of Fort Farm. You also have the vehicles coming in from the north, and this might they might try to flush out the Leopard. This BTR, you can actually dump your AP into the rear of the Leopard, and you can engine him. Once again, a very brave and ballsy play, but not impossible. BTR instead choosing to link up, and this, I mean, this is MSL's Logi route. This is their MSR out of the point, and you can see you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 2 ATs, 2 vehicles. That is not good. Ukraine Unity Frontline is starting to encircle MSL, and they need to deal with everything right now. Deal with their vehicles and infantry. But it looks like Otto and Kaplan did get spotted. Tank was marked. Looks like Franchugol, unfortunately, not tracking the T90, but is able to at least scare him away, do a little bit of damage to that hull. And the T90 is going to have to fall back. Leopard still trying to stay nice and safe within the infantry blob. Oh, and we're going to lose another Logi. BTR 82, are they not going to see it? Raul? Might be safe. Oh no, Leopard! This is what you need. Leopard needs to make a pick here. And I think they're going to be able to. That's what you needed for MSL. The game is not over yet. BTR 82 goes down, and that's a big, big play, trying to even up that armor advantage. Still for Ukraine Unity Frontline, but you need something, and GG, he's flying over the bridge here to keep spotting that tank. You can see all the POI marks saying this is a no-go. Do not go over here. MSL just accepting defeat on that route. And it might be for the best. So this is what we've got down on the south side of the map. We're going to redirect a little bit. Squad 1 MSL. I think this is... I want to say that this is MSL attacking a backup fob. This is the mortar fob. The Hab's going to be... I was going to say the Hab was overrun for a second. Mauro, they... trying to get in, and it doesn't look like there's players down here. There are, it's just we're too far away, so it's not rendering him on the map. But if they're able to knock out that mortar fob, take 20 tickets from a harassment area, that would be a fantastic play if you're able to hold Fort Farm. MSL looks like they're trying to do some harassment on the south side, as well as you have a nice attack in the city. You still have to mop up looks like difficult here in the middle, but able to consolidate and then keep pushing out towards the western train yard. It's not over yet, but the front is starting to develop for Ukraine front line here, and it's looking quite deadly without a few more vehicle kills. And speaking of vehicle kills, I think we have another tracked. Oh no! I think we finally have seen the end of the harassment vehicle. Flamestorm, I don't see the vehicle anymore. Oh no, it's just down the road. And Enzo coming in with the Logi. Travka off to our right side of your screen. Travka, he's the squad leader here. And now you have the Coyote, Logi, and Leopard. They pretty much have an armored convoy. They need to make sure this Logi comes by. But Hikari, now you have infantry also coming up. Nikki dismounting, and this is good. Infantry being suppressed by the vehicles, and now Nikki trying to push in and mop him up close quarters, and he might be able to. He'd have head on a swivel because Flamestorm is right in front of him. Knocks out one. He gets same meow, and he does. Finally. Squad 14, though, they still have their rally right behind him. You can see that Hourglass on the other side of the river. Nikki does go down, but the rally is still up. Coyote is here to deal with things. And if you're MSL, you need to just take a chance that they do have that rally. Push across a little bit. Hikari is still out here with 18. He could still take a nice quick shot, but you still have the BRDM with QWE and Trafka. This is absolutely deadly, costing MSL not just precious tickets, but also time. They're not able to consolidate anymore in Fort Farm, instead have to just deal with all the harassment. The Southern Mortar Fob push has also not worked out. Just a lot of problems, and now I think the Enzo coming in. Did he just get shot by the T90? I think he did. Otto and Kaplan. Oh, and hold on a second. They were able to hit the Leopard. T90 able to get just that perfect angle. And the T90, they're double tracked. Not pinned through the ammo just yet, but that is not a good position. Should be on fire in just a second here, but Otto and Kaplan, they can actually lose this. A quicker loading with the Leopard. One more shot, you gotta do it. Oh, it's ammo racked! It's ammo racked! That's why the voice comms were absolutely lighting up. T90 ambushes the Leopard, but able to take out, get taken out themselves with an absolutely priceless, at this point, priceless kill on the T90. 207 tickets, and oh my goodness, the turret finally coming back down to earth. Otto and Kaplan, they're gonna want that one back. They had the Leopard side armored, but I think what actually saved the Leopard here is if we look at this angle, I'm trying to give them credit here. I don't actually know if this is true, but if you actually look here from the T90, I don't know if they had an angle on the ammo. And no, they did. There's actually no reason to have not hit that ammo rack, especially since the tank was tracked. And oh, they followed up with an airstrike! Oh my goodness! The Sioux strike! The moment it was tracked, must have been called in. Mortars as well, just to mop up any of the other infantry. But the T90 goes down, and UUF follow it up with an airstrike, taking out the Leopard. I do believe the second Leopard should be up just about now. We got 2 minutes. So yes, we're running into some problems, MSL, but oh, they might be finishing it, and they are. BRDM does go down. Coyote, they're solving the problem. Squad 14 still has the rally, though. That's the issue. They might not even see this rally. 230 tickets for Ukraine Unity Frontline. It's now about a 50 ticket difference, but a little bit of a better consolidation. Squad 14, though, Flamestorm, they are just not relenting. North side, they're taking the goat path up around, and he has new ammo. They have a rally here, so they can still work off the rally, rearm, and still push. But all the while, the vehicles have not been as effective as I think MSL wanted.
¿Confirmada la radio?
Sí, está confirmada, está abajo.
Por ahora solamente tengo UAV y F18.
En marca de uno tengo hub y radio.
Marca de 10, viene infantería enemiga.
185 tickets, 227. MSL, they have their fob up. They have their hab up on Fort Farm. UUF infantry trying to push this north side of the objective. You see Green Mix and Mr. Meow down here. But this north side, you really, if you're MSL, you really need to make sure you don't have anybody flanking around still. You don't want to be worried about anyone continuing that harassment like Flamestorm has. And Green Mix does eventually go down here to Totem Wolf. But there's no rallies on the north side. You have a Squad 7 rally. This is the Ukraine Unity Frontline rally out west of the point. If you can clean this up a little bit, you did well to reset out here. yeah, you lost a tank, but you took their tank out. Your tank's about on respawn. And it looks like Squad 5, wow, that was probably very unlucky on Flamestorm's part. Actually able to come out, support the Logi, and knocks out the transport with Flamestorm. So the anti-tank team that's been so good at harassment for the past 10-15 minutes now is out of action, at least for the moment. And Squad 2, if Nikki sticks with this, and he should, they know there's helmet markers here. You need to clear this out. If they're able to clear this out, squash the rally, and then they're going to be in business for the Logi. It's not the best situation, but unless we had a radio dug down by Ukraine, they might have also just lost their mortar fob. So a lot of MSL, we're seeing enough MSL defending. We're seeing them deal with the back line. We're also seeing their tank coming up, and you got a squad and a half getting ready to come in from the southeast side. It ain't over, and you're only 30 tickets down, while also being an objective down. MSL have a few tricks up their sleeves, and we have to see if they're able to just stave off this attack a little bit longer.
Tenemos vehículo en el cruce, muchachos, cruce cerca de marca 12.
¿Puedes ver qué es?
Me está disparando una parcial, no sé qué tipo de vehículo es.
Está pasando por el medio de la bandera.
Ooh, Otto and Kaplan do finally squash the rally. It was that hourglass mark in the top of this building here. And he's going to be harassing some infantry. AT in the back, though. That is going to catch it on fire. Infantry going to dismount, try to save it. Kaplan, oh, mid-arms. He chooses to go with the AT and not the rifle. Otto does go down. Kaplan dismounts in. And another BRDM lost. Flu coming around the backside. Kaplan is going to get doubled up here. Oh, no. Hold on a second. He doesn't. Does the flip turnaround snap. Kaplan taking the entire team with him. Jacques and Hi now. Oh, did he just fell down in the hab. Look at this awkward situation here. Jacques, that's a horrible decision. He had plenty of health left and he knew that. Jacques choosing to go for the bandage, and they're sacrificing a BRDM for a hab overrun. And this whole situation might actually lead to an entire lost game with a domino effect unless you can get infantry on it. The rallies were squashed earlier, but Kaplan able to stay alive. BRDM does go down, but hab is overrun, and now you have Ukraine Unity Frontline infantry pushing from that southwest side we were calling out earlier. There's only a couple of infantry on the objective. If you guys want to see it, it's this rectangular prism right now. I guess more of a cube. More of a cube. But a few more infantry will stop the cap, so it's not, you're not worried you're going to flip it immediately, but you can't let the infantry get dug in here. You can't lose the radio, or you can't lose your hab permanently. The radio is back here, a little bit safer, but Kaplan needs to go down. Paluxury needs to go down. A couple more in the long bar need to go down. And you know what doesn't need to go down if you're MSL? You're M113 TLAV out in no man's land. Huge mistake by Pella. I'm not even sure why they're over here. They know this situation is not good, and the TLAV instantly dismounts. I don't think they even fire back, and you can see they just relinquish that side. Very poor play for the TLAV crew. This entire time for the past few minutes has been all Russian infantry. Not sure why a TLAV would choose to go in there all by himself. Armor is recollecting themselves. They're going to go as a convoy. Coyote, Leopard, TLAV, Logi. They aren't taking any chances with this main camping road that Flamestorm and crew has been so good with. But Fortified Farm is still going down, and Well, it's just not looking good for MSL. 50 tickets down, and you do not need another 50 ticket swing.
Rama, Dona, necesito el tanque urgentemente, que tire tickets. Necesito descomprimir la bandera.
Bianca goes down. Pardo goes down immediately after, but at least one down. Reaper holding the long side here.
Lleno de cosas ahí escondido en F5 en caso de que se necesite. Nada más.
Full autoing, just trying to suppress to get it on. MSL trying to get bodies on. They've gotten just enough.
Veterano enemigo en D6, marcado.
Luxury up in the building, looking over. And I mean,
No. Necesito que me ayude en defensa. Última vez que repito.
these are the type of angles you need to hold just so that way you can have infantry, even if you're outnumbered, they need to push up here. They need to clear you out. And the longer infantry have to try to fight over the hab, the better it's going to be for your team. UUF coming up from the southwest side still. And they're starting to get a lot of numbers on this point.
O sea, si le mueve la bandera van a descomprimir acá, así que ideal que la uno ahí se meta por detrás.
Cud taking shots, and Baron does go down. Husky trying to run in, and I think he's going to try to clear the hab area.
Aproximadamente, ¿por dónde está viniendo la defensa? El ataque, por de estrellas, ¿no?
Oeste, sí.
And look at that solo over here. They're going for the grenade. Oh, it bounces out, just barely misses. Solo and Hi holding the hab. Fort Farm is still holding strong on the MSL side. Just not enough reinforcements for UUF as infantry keep pushing in. Husky coming in, and he's charging the hab, and he takes out Solo. Hi though, and that's going to clear the hab. Hab is now spawnable. Mr. Meow pushing on the outside, but Hi now he's the only one left inside the hab. Pluxury LUV out on the western side. Now you have Tunk Q and Reece. Zatvor as well trying to push in to overrun this hab area. Hab should be spawnable in about 10 seconds. No, it's overrun again because you have infantry now. 4 infantry within 40 meters of this hab is overrunning it. And Hi holding. Mr. Meow now trying to push in and clear it. And wow, just can't seem to root him out. And MSL's been pushed off again. Hab is almost spawnable, but you're going to have infantry here by in just a second. Ukraine Unity Frontline looks like they should have. Whoa, it's spawnable. Not sure if they're going to choose to spawn in, and they try to, but eventually, I don't see Ukraine relinquishing this Fort Farm area. MSL, you can see now the bodies. They've put a lot of pressure on this southern fob, and they're trying to root out the old train yard attack or defense fob. But the front line, though, of their defenders is starting to get so porous. You know, if we look at the map here, let's remove the radio. Look at where all the blue is. It's not that much. It's all scattered. They have to fall back on the fob just east of the objective. Going to be a little tough for MSL, but they're putting in the fight here. They have. Oh, did they clear it again? No. The cap is 10% to neutral. There's now a BTR-82 on the objective. They haven't found the radio just yet, UUF. I'm wondering what about command assets. This is now an attack fob for Ukraine Unity Frontline. The one right in front of us here. They have an attack fob, and they're pouring into Fort Farm. And the numbers are starting to completely go in their favor. Fort Farm goes neutral. Squad 3 is going to try to do something on the south side for MSL, but the north side vehicle play is what might be able to save them. Unless Flamestorm has anything to do with it. Flamestorm up in the hills again. This has just been the game plan from minute 1. We have another tank and hat kit opportunity here. I mean, look at this.
¿Te sirve máquina esa marca?
Wonderful positioning from Flame.
Que alguna unidad se quede cerca de la radio de defensa, porque la única
You
que
can
tengo ya
see
está
slowly pushing up here.
Si pueden de última sacar la radio de movimiento 12 y plantar otra más rápido, más atrás.
Si actualizan la marca en ETR, calenla, gente.
Flamestorm. I'm not sure why our camera's twitching out here.
Están cayendo morteros, tengan cuidado. ¿Dónde está comando?
Oh, it's not our camera, it's Flamestorm. He's just, he's what, peeking? Wonderful lag potentially. Flamestorm is actually not going to get the first shot because Donatello are going to be going around this side. And if this Leopard gets tracked, that will be about GG. They still have 20 minutes or so left, but at this point, these tanks have been absolutely neutralized. And Hikari needs to make a long shot. But Flamestorm, uh-oh. Not sure why they're waiting. Fourth farm is about secured. Ukraine Unity Frontline is going to go 50 more tickets to the good, so it's going to be a 120 ticket difference about. Actually, a 110 ticket difference. Flamestorm, he's been good with the AT. Can he make a Hail Mary? Fort Farm goes down 118 tickets to 258. Oh, and he misses Flamestorm with one of the first wrong moves of the tournament. Leopard able to get out, and this might end up working in MSL's favor. So if you recap, you'll be able to get 50 more tickets. So you'd be up to 160 something tickets. Artillery coming in, and this is the only other fob that MSL was using, and that artillery is it's hitting the hab and then it's moving towards the radio. That means people trying to spawn in are getting killed. You have one little shovel boy trying to keep it up, but that's going to creep in and it might actually knock out that radio, and that's going to prevent any more MSL infantry from pouring back in. And well, Enzo, he actually doesn't have a shovel as commander. Vehicle goes down. I think that was the BTR, and it is. It's not over yet. 79 tickets. You can get back into this. Fort Farm has plenty of infantry for MSL. There's also infantry on the south side for Ukraine Unity Frontline, but the tickets, you might be able to claw your way back if you're able to get onto that hab, or onto that point, grab the 50 tickets from the capture, and then make a few good vehicle plays. You need to hit that transport if you're Donatello. And no AT up in here. They might see the vehicle pop up, and no, not yet. Uh-oh, another Logi. They need to see this. MSL needs to get a little bit of luck going their way with some Viz. And they should see this Logi. Oh, driver's just gonna miss it. Not having that helicopter right now is absolutely costing them some easy opportunities. Oh, and they're going to turn around right when the Logi... Oh, this is just comical at this point. The transport behind us goes down. Donatello is not going to see the Logi right in front of him. They need to turn up north. Infantry spilling out, and that has some... that has the Logi in it so they can get down a new attack radio. And oh my goodness, just right from under them, Squad 8, Stas, Kuvalda, Ogneshik, Mur, and they cannot believe their luck right now, trading a transport for a Logi radio position, and Donatello is just unfortunate. They're going to turn tail, and they might see the infantry. MSL doesn't look like they're going to be able to stay in play anymore in Fort Farm. Down to 47 tickets to 233. Just not working out. I think the unit picks, not necessarily a bad play, but when you have the harassment in AT, as Flamestorm and Hikari had, they just countered that so well with the harassment, using those BRDMs to get into positions, to knock out Logis, to rearm their AT. And now the tank is just a sitting duck in front of a hab he doesn't even know exists. Trying to look at that helicopter. But Pig Farm is already getting pushed. And whatever situation... Well, I say that as much as I want to deal, I want to see what Ukraine Unity Frontline does with this tank up here. MSL might actually be able to pull Fort Farm out from under Ukraine Unity Frontline's nose. Squad 3 pushing up into Fort Farm, a handful of infantry. You just have Tianka and Hi-Hi. And Squad 9, with led by Totem Wolf, has actually knocked out a hab. You do have a rally down here, so Sipuyu is spawning in, trying to help defend that. Raul digging down that hab. If there's enough infantry here, you can cap back Fort Farm. It's not impossible with 42 tickets and your own hab overrun. Oh, that's not going to do it. Wishful thinking from MSL, but might be too little too late, as that looks like Cud is entering some close quarters combat, clearing out the hab. And unable to do much, MSL. Cud and Mur in there. And once again, another hab overrun and another point starting to flip red. Oh, grenade! No. Hear the no. Mur, I don't even think that was his grenade. That might have been a team kill. Mauro now trying to push in. And if he can get Mur, then they're clear, and they are clear. Oh, that is a clutch full auto clearing of the hab, but Cud is up high, and it doesn't matter. On terrace from the back, and they have cleared the hab, and that saved Pig Farm. There is still as a tank. I think they've actually figured out where the hab is. They're firing off at some infantry, but the hab is actually right in front of them. I don't know if they've actually called it out yet. BTR is coming around the flank. If Pig Farm can hold, you can see the radio did go down. Huge plays by MSL, and they've actually knocked out the radio that was defending Fortified Farm. And so now the infantry, if you can win your infantry fight here, you just have Tianka, and Hi-Hi has almost no health left. Franchuga, Mr. Meow, Sunday Pasta, Emil. Oh no, the mortar! Oh my goodness! Crazy accurate mortars. Good infantry calls. Tianka and Hi-Hi acting as forward observers for defensive mortars, and that knocks out half of the attacking team. Mr. Meow, now Sunday Pasta have to hold up, and that is going to completely allow UUF to reset. And with 30, well now 28 tickets, the opportunity to push in on that point was just a few minutes ago, and I don't know if MSL is going to have the time now to stave off this northern infantry attack. DRDM is hit with AT, but it is abandoned. And the tank is still... Well, the tank is now trying to fire at the Tab V. Or BTR rather, firing at the Tab V. Or M113. Solya and Poopstick from across the field here. And I think AT just knocked the Leopard. And you can hear how quiet the comms are now on MSL. I think they realize... that this might be the end of their tournament journey. They had some moments on that Gorodok match to really put Ukraine on the back foot, but it looks like Ukraine, from whatever maybe nervy starts they had at the beginning, able to sort themselves out. And although they didn't pick this map, Black Coast was an MSL map pick. Looks like they're going to come out on top again, tracked, and we'll have to see if the T90 comes to finish the job here. This would be 15 tickets of tank plus 2 tickets of crew, and there's only 20 tickets left. Very quiet on comms. Overall, I think a good match, but Flamestorm really was a turning point. One heavy anti-tank player just causing so much chaos in the backline. Give Hikari and his squad leader also some credit. But the T90 coming in to finish the job. Hit with AT and track the Leopard as a sit and duck as the T90 comes across the field, and they're getting a rematch. Can the T90 win it this time? He has some help from his hat kit. T90 peeking, and no! Oh, horrible luck for the Leopard. The Leopard, its gun is right behind this hay barrel, and Otto and Kaplan are going to be able to have their choice. As the Leopard now getting picked apart by every single piece of Ukrainian Unity Frontline players. T90 finishes it off, 3 tickets left, and that will be it. Round 2, although a little nervy. Ukraine Unity Frontline sealing their ticket to the semifinals next weekend, next Sunday. 2-0 Magic Squad, Legionnaires falling on Black Coast. This one didn't quite make it to time, but just as good. 92 tickets for MSL, or 92 kills to MSL, 140 the vehicle difference, really doing it. 150 in caps, 221 in caps, 64 revives to 48. GG's. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing? Say meow.
Yeah, fine. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to play in this game, this tournament. It was a really serious call for us. Like, despite all of the issues we are going through as a country and as a community, that is a really great opportunity to us to be in touch with the general community of the squad. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for showing up, and I know we had some technical issues in the beginning, maybe some language barrier issues. Everyone wanted to make sure everything was done right, but I do appreciate us working through that. I know it took a while, but I think the games were worth it when we did get to the games. So before we get into that, can maybe you talk just a little bit. Did you guys want to play Gorodok first? Did you look at the maps and say, we really could play these two, we don't want to play this one? How did you guys approach the map pick ban process?
That was pretty obvious because, as you can see, I don't know how it's on the potato field servers like public, but on public servers of Ukraine community, Gorodok is one of the most popular maps. So people are feeling pretty used to it. So yeah, I guess this is the main reason why we picked Gorodok. Also, we have some plan prepared for the whole map, but it's Rust, so you never know what the objectives will go. And in the middle of the beginning of the first map, you could see that we weren't ready for third objective to be on the radio. It was too not much of the numbers there, but we managed to turn the game over and take it in our hands.
Yeah, let me just get moving Sweet Ducky as well down in here to chat. And welcome Sweet Ducky and is it Ask It? Yeah, there we go. So welcome guys, as we've just been chatting with Say Meow here for the past minute, and talking a bit more of how Gorodok is a bit easier for y'all to turn into competitive since you're so familiar with it with the community. But yeah, that match, as Say Meow was saying, that kind of, I think it took me by surprise at how I think out of position both sides were at both times. Did you guys have a game plan that just went sideways? Did you forget about something? Was MSL just putting pressure where you didn't expect it? How did that happen? Like, walk me through when all of a sudden you guys realized you only have 2 caps left.
So the main issue here is, like in every competitive game, like every competitive player can tell you this fact. So if your infantry and the SLs didn't have a nice clear briefing before the game, that means that on the staging phase someone will get into the wrong car and will just drive not in the position that they should be. So things like that happens happen in this match as well.
Well, so that was the respawning. We saw quite a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
You saw the respawns.
Yeah, we saw the respawns. And everyone's here. We're thinking, man, this is some big brain plays. Trying to. And okay, no, it's actually we all screwed up. So let's get our guys in the right side. Okay, well, good. See a little behind the scenes there. Okay, so but before we talk about Black Coast, obviously a much better organized round for you guys. Walk me through your unit picks and bans for these matchups. Do you feel like, especially Black Coast going up against an armored unit, do you feel like you outpicked the other team? Did that come into play at all?
Yeah, it worked with us really good on the very beginning. Ask It here is from the Weeks team as well. We love to use mobile EFV, and they gives you a lot of how can I say it, map control from the very beginning, from the rollout, because enemy vehicles slow, they need more time to get to the positions, and we focused all of our vehicles, mobile vehicles, EVs on west flank, and that allowed us to destroy enemy LAVs from like very beginning.
So I'm sure you guys knew this question was coming, but how can every team get a Flamestorm? The anti-tank with Flamestorm and Hikari, absolute harassment. I think it was Squad 14, whoever the SL there too. Y'all's control over that main road and harassment was insane. Is this something that if you guys don't have control of this alleyway, you're not sure if you're able to continue on with the match as in your current game plan?
No, it's like in every game, I guess you are thinking about enemies' ways to resupply. It's not like main camping, but when you controlling the main crossroads and stuff, so you're thinking what enemy will do on like on your you placing yourself on his place, yeah, and think what he will do. And yeah, shout out to guys from Ukrainian clan Sov. They did a really great job, all of them, on the backdoor squad, as a backdoor squad. So yeah, thank them for this. They are really good. They are playing competitive for a long time, and yeah, they are here with us to give a result.
Awesome. So also about it now in general, you've played 2 rounds. You had map picks, map bans, and we heard from Rat Brigade yesterday. They're leaving tomorrow's games actually saying, wow, that was surprisingly more competitive than I thought, actually very refreshing and fun. How do you guys feel about the setup? Obviously a few technical issues in the beginning, but how is now that you have a 2-0 win in your books, how are you liking the setup of a RAS tournament with units and map picks?
It's interesting. Like, you never know what's going to happen. Like, yeah, that's something fresh, something new. It's interesting. Thanks you for you to organize this tournament. Actually, yeah. That's it. What I think.
From a perspective like a team which is preparing to the game, it's much harder to organize your players, like 40 guys. It's very good you don't know like our language, because what was happening in the blue chat while we were just waiting for the game for an hour, I think. Like guys just going crazy.
47 minutes, okay?
Yeah. I mean, like
guys,
guys are going crazy, and I understand that's not easy from the like staff team as well to organize such a event. I'm looking at it, and I can say that it organized pretty good. Also, you took some. It looks like you took some advices from guys who were organizing tournaments before, and also shit you had on the beginning, or not on the beginning, but with the mod, with the first person looking, I guess it's like the issues that always happen on the with the tournaments on the squad, and we believe that maybe in future stuff like this will be less annoying and happened not so so people who play in SWAT will not be so familiar with the bugs and issues with the cam and stuff like this. But we are really loving this as community, as Ukrainian community who plays squad and public squad. We are really loving this tournament. That was really fun. Thank you.
That's great to hear. Yeah, we've been saying work with us as we try to, as it's all new to everyone. Hopefully next week all teams have been through a round of this. All the referees, admins, we've all been through the first round, so we all know to make it run a bit smoother. But great to hear. Once again, guys, congratulations on, at the end, a very definitive victory, going 2-0 up against Magic Squad Legionnaires. Is there any last comments that you'd like to say to those y'all who are supporting you as you go into and prepare for the semifinals for next weekend?
Yes, with Ducky, go say something. Maybe he's yeah. So I don't know who it will be yet. I didn't saw the brackets. As you can see, we have some issues with connection. Yeah.
It would be tactical trigonometry or recon will be the afternoon matchup. Yep.
So whoever it will be, I think you should better get ready for us, because we are coming and we will get you.
There you go, calling them out before they even know who they're fighting. So thank you guys so much. Ask it, Say Meow, and Ducky. Appreciate it, guys. Congrats again, and good luck next week.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Have a good day. Thanks.